Welcome back to California Cooking. This is the time of year when produce becomes the star of the show. Today, I'm taking you guys to a neighborhood wine bar with a seasonal menu showcasing the most beautiful local produce. Then, I'm making a quick flatbread topped with sauteed veggies and fresh mozzarella, and a zucchini, fresh corn, and goat cheese omelet. Let's start with a wine bar and restaurant in Glassell Park. Wife in the Somm is a great spot to grab a glass of wine or enjoy a date night. Let's meet the owners, Christy and Chris. Hi guys, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. What a great spot.
Thank you.
Oh. You know, you said it when I walked in, it's a hidden gem. That's how it feels.
Yes, absolutely. It used to actually be covered with ivy all across the front, so none of the neighbors knew actually what was in here.
This tree, the first thing I walk in, I'm like, that olive tree in the middle of the restaurant is so great. I think it's so interesting too when people decide, are in one line of work, which you guys were, and you're also a couple.
Yes.
You were in the film business, and then you said, what, let's open a restaurant and let's sell some wine and food. And
Chris, a long time ago, was looking to get out of the industry and was trying to figure out what that next thing would be. And we watched the movie Somm a long time ago. And I said, oh my God, this is the perfect thing for you. You're full of useless knowledge and you're great at history. So, and you love food and wine. So he started studying and now is one step away from being a master of wine.
a master. I think for all of us that don't know much, except we know if we like something or we don't like something, what are some, I guess, tips you can give just your average person when trying to pick a wine?
One of the things that we fell into on our honeymoon, where we went for 3 weeks in Italy, was all these little towns we went to. One of the things, some of the chefs and sommeliers we met and like tasted with, they were always like, oh, the easiest way. And it was like an aha moment of like, what grows together goes together. So just think of like, oh, if you're having, you know, a grilled branzino, like where does branzino live? Where do people eat it? What do they drink there?
That's so interesting.
And it's just kind of like
common sense.
Yeah,
really.
that's the easiest way to look at it.
And I think what we've really tried to focus here at the restaurant is trying to be as local as possible. We do get a lot of our produce from an urban farm.
Yeah. Your wines, though, are from all over the world, not just California, right?
Yeah. It's mostly all small families. I like to just say low interventionist because it's all like almost all organically farmed, biodynamic. It's small families.
How did you guys set up the menu? Was the main focus to pair things?
I think it was definitely like the pairing part of it.
You know, just really wanting to go California seasonal, fresh ingredients. Speaking to the season, we actually change our menu 4 times a year at minimum.
Nice.
And are often inspired by different things that come up, and we'll change our menu even more often.
So like spring, summer, we're spring now, gonna be summer soon. What sort of things do you start to introduce into the menu?
We have a fantastic citrus salad that we're gonna show you today, as well as a whole Dorado fish with a green goddess sauce.
Yeah.
We're also showing...
Well, we have the tomato burrata.
Is it considered a wine shop still? Can people come in and just purchase wine?
Yeah, we have a full retail license. So a lot of times when we do tastings or winemaker dinners, we taste through them and then people can literally then take it home with them.
Or if you have a bottle at dinner and you're like, oh my God, I'm in love with this, take 3 to go.
Okay, sold. Chef Frank, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm great.
Okay, we're back in the, by the way, this is so hot. I don't know how you guys do this all night.
Yeah, it's like a good 1:30, you know, in the shade. So, you know, it's...
Tell me what you're going to show me how to make that's on the menu here.
All right, so we're gonna be cleaning dorade. So we do a whole grilled dorade.
Nice.
From the Mediterranean.
Let's do it.
Most important is that they have all these really nasty spines. And fins and stuff, and you want to get rid of those because that's the most important part. I like to use scissors.
Yeah. It's like a haircut. Yeah.
Exactly. So now what we like to do is we like to score. So scoring is really important. It creates more surface area. So when we do put it on the grill, it's going to get that skin really nice and
Crispy bits.
And we want to do just a little bit of olive oil on the skin, kind of rub him in there. And this is a really simple preparation.
Salt and pepper, that's
a little
it.
Salt, that's it. And then we're going to go right kind of on our hot zone of the grill, and we're going to let him sit there a minute. We want to make sure we season both sides, very important.
And how long would that take, do you think?
So we're going to go 60 to 90 seconds on this side, so a minute and a half, maybe two.
Yeah.
And then we'll flip them over, same thing on the other side.
Okay, it's really, I see some flames, Chef. Is that okay?
Yeah, we're good. Flames are okay. If it's anything more than that, then we're in trouble.
Okay.
So,
Got it.
you want to get carefully under your fish, and we're just going to go straight over like that. We got a good color, got some caramelization, we got a little bit of char on the fish.
You know what, maybe you have inspired people this summer to do a whole fish on the grill.
I encourage it. I think it's fun. I think it's different. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all
Yes.
we need. Yep.
And then that would go in the oven. With the fish, you serve this sauce?
Yeah, this is kind of our rendition here of a green goddess dressing. So we're going to start with fresh parsley. We're doing a salad on our menu with pea tendrils.
Oh,
These
is
are
that what that
So
is?
this is actually
Beautiful.
the leaf for the green from the pea plant, chives.
Chives, lovely. Is that tarragon I see?
Tarragon, big major component of this dressing is the tarragon. And now we're gonna add our yogurt, extra virgin olive oil. This was champagne vinegar, fresh squeezed lemon juice, which we do every single day here. 1 garlic clove, just a little bit in salt, pepper. Starting on a low speed, we'll click on here, and we'll just blend this all down.
Look at the color too.
Color's
that is
bright.
some green goddess. Hi, Chef Sal. How are you? This is the pretty fish we were making in the kitchen.
This is the end result, and now I'm going to show you guys how to fillet the fish. We start with the spine and with a spoon, so you can separate the skin from the bone.
Look at you.
Boom.
The
Then
bones left behind and all the fish right there.
we have the bone still in here,
Yep.
and we can take it out. Everything comes out at once.
Great job. Don't mind if I do. Go ahead. I'll try a little. Oh, yeah. That's really good. And that sauce is incredible.
Yeah, the green goddess.
This looks like the bounty of California and all the beautiful things that we have here. Tell me what we've got on the table.
We'll start with our citrus salad. So it's cara and grapefruit right now, and then the cucumber adds like a soft, sweet element. They fry up some parsley, and the pepitas and the parsley on it. It is so bright.
At first I thought those are potatoes. They're not.
Sunchokes, a tubular root vegetable.
Oh my gosh, those are delicious.
The brata. They spin it usually around twice a week. So when we
Okay.
get it, this burrata is so fresh.
This is the cheesecake you say that people in the neighborhood keep coming back for.
Yeah.
Yes. So a friend of ours, he challenged me with, ooh, you should try a Basque cheesecake. In Basque country, they create a cheesecake without a crust. They actually bake it at 400 degrees, and they have 1/3 of a cup of flour in it, which actually helps to create this crust around it. As you can see, it's like much more custardy and luscious on the inside, and gets a little bit, more dense towards the outside.
I don't know if there's like a contest or a competition you could enter, but I think you should. This has been a pleasure. I can't wait to come back. Coming up, fresh and easy, my veggie flatbread with pesto and a zucchini, corn, and goat cheese omelet. This recipe is the perfect way to showcase all of the veggies in season this time of year. It's my veggie flatbread with pesto. This time of year, I love cooking with all kinds of vegetables that are seasonal, and you go to the market, you've got the tomatoes coming in and asparagus in the spring or corn in the summer. I'm gonna do a little take on maybe a flatbread or a pizza and just load it up with veggies. And also I happen to have a pesto in the fridge that I made the other day, and this will be the base for my veggies. So easy and fresh. So you could make your own pizza dough, but I like to buy it. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is get this pizza in the oven without any toppings on it. And I'm gonna also saute the veggies because you don't want your pizza to be watery. And if you put all these raw veggies on there, it would just be a watery mess. On our pan, so things don't stick, get some olive oil going. Got our pizza dough. I think I need a little flour though. So I got the oven on pretty hot, 450, 500, and then you just start doing your thing like you work at a pizza joint. Shape doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be round because we're just gonna shove it into this baking sheet. And then I like to do to stretch it. Honestly, that I feel like they don't just do that for show. It really helps stretch your dough. There we go. Okay. Going in our pan. I'm gonna pop that in my hot oven and get that going. Bake it off a little bit first before we put the veggies on. Now to the veggies, and really anything you like. I'm gonna do some zucchini. I think just rounds, pretty thin. Zucchini, one zucchini. I've got some fennel, give it a little chop. Pretty thin, you don't want big chunks of veggies necessarily. I think this is such a great thing to serve too when people come over, because who doesn't love pizza or flatbread? And it's super easy. Okay, peppers, let's do any color. I'm gonna do a little red pepper. And I think really the way to do it is just get all the colors of the rainbow. Let's do a little bit of asparagus. Just chop these up. And you guys know the trick with the asparagus, right? Which I already did, but you hold the thing and where it snaps is where you discard. I've got corn, frozen corn. I also have yellow and red tomatoes, so these I'm just gonna have. And I'm not going to cook the cherry tomatoes beforehand. I'm gonna put those on raw. Some red onion, a few slices of that. Do it quickly before you start crying. I'm gonna go saute these in a skillet, and then they'll be ready to put on our pizza. So I have a little bit of avocado oil in a pan. You could use olive oil, whatever you got. And I'm putting in the onions, asparagus, peppers, and fennel. I'm not putting in the zucchini yet, or the corn, or the tomatoes. And some salt. And then next to it, you can see we have our pizza dough that we took out. That was only in the oven for maybe 5-10 minutes, just to get a little bit of a par bake, I guess you could say. Because you want the dough to cook. Just crank that up and let that go for a sec. Okay, while that cooks, I'm gonna half some of our cherry tomatoes. We have yellow, red, multicolor, whatever you like. The veggies getting a little color on it, so I'm gonna add in my zucchini now. Get those going, get a little color on the zucchini. Okay, so our veggies have cooked, and then I turn the heat off. I'm gonna add our cherry tomatoes because those don't really need to cook, and then our frozen corn that has been thawed a little bit, and once it hits the heat, that's all it needs. And then what I'm gonna do, instead of a red sauce, I have pesto. I made this pesto the other day. It's mint, basil, pistachios, pine nuts, lemon, Parmesan, olive oil. Now the thing about a pesto, and I've been making it once a week, and I put it on everything. And I vary. The thing about a pesto is you just need a green, a nut, lemon, parm, olive oil. So just go wild. And that's something I just keep in the fridge. It lasts for at least a week. And it's so herby and lemony and perfect base for our pizza. Got our veggies. And we're gonna just top those, pile it up. And then any extra you have, you can use it in anything. The last thing I'm gonna do is I have some fresh mozzarella, and I'm gonna cut that into some lovely slices and put on our pizza. Back in the oven until the cheese is melted and the dough is cooked through. So our pizza's out. I let it cool for a second, and any herb. Right now I happen to have mint and parsley. Basil would be great. and just some fresh herbs on top. I think the way I'd like to serve it is to have a board right here, and hopefully it doesn't stick. Look at that, don't even need the spatula. Ah, and there is your veggie pizza. Coming up, good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, a zucchini, corn, and goat cheese omelet. That's coming up next. It's a simple omelet, but with some unexpected ingredients. Here's my zucchini, fresh corn, and goat cheese omelet. Okay, so I think I have a theme today where I'm using some of the same ingredients that I'm gonna use for both recipes, and that being zucchini. And I made this the other night for dinner, and it was a zucchini goat cheese omelet, and it was so yummy, and I thought, let me just throw in some of that corn as well, because I think corn and zucchini and goat cheese, they all go so well together. And in an omelet, sometimes you just feel like an omelet for dinner, you know what I mean? So we start with, this time, very thinly sliced zucchini. I love to use the mandolin, although it freaks me out and it's super dangerous. So just be careful. But what it does is it just slices things really thin and uniform. And if you don't have this, just a good old knife will do. And some shallot. I'm gonna do a couple of shallots. Shallots are just a milder onion, so I like them better in this. Green onion would be great, chives would be great. And then I'm gonna crack some eggs. So depends how many you're gonna feed. I like to do a big omelet and then just divvy it up. So let's say it was just 2 of you. I would do 4, but sometimes I do 5 just for good measure. I like to put half and half. Salt and pepper, and then whip those up. I feel like the more you whip, the better it is, the fluffier. So now we're gonna take our goat cheese back there, we're gonna saute up our zucchini and our shallot, and then we'll make an omelet. The biggest thing for me when I'm making an omelet is a non-stick skillet. I think that's the way to ensure things don't get stuck and become a mess. So some butter and olive oil in the pan, and then shallots going in first. I want to get those soft, and then we'll add in our zucchini. Shallots are softening, and then goes in, oops, our zucchini. Very thin, so it'll cook quickly, and I want it to get brown. I like when zucchini gets the brown bits. Soggy zucchini, I'm not a fan of. Some salt. I'm gonna add a touch more butter. Hi, Theo. Hi, Theo. Theo, what you doing? I'm making some zucchini. Smells good, right? Oh, I do know what he would love. This kid loves cheese. Want a little goat cheese? Want a little goat cheese? Let's see. Good? Is that good? Do you want to give everyone else a taste of some goat cheese too? Half the time I'm in here and I'm cooking and he's like this. Huh. There we go, yeah. So, I've got my brown zucchini. It's nice and golden. My shallots are browned. And now the eggs. Let's turn it down to low. Go in right on top. I'm gonna grate in a little bit of fresh garlic. I'm gonna add a little bit of that frozen thawed corn. A bunch of goat cheese is going in. Now why I love goat cheese is it gets all creamy and gooey and delicious. So goat cheese is going in. I mean, half of this is more than enough. And then something that I love in this, I know it's a little strange, lemon zest, but it just brightens this whole thing, and I'm telling you, it's awesome. I think it's because of the zucchini and the lemon just go together. Okay, so now what I do is I just lift, and you let some of the liquid Go down the side. I know this probably isn't. Now you could also just do a frittata, keep an open face, pop it in the oven, let it bake that way. The reason I'm doing an omelet is because what I like is when the goat cheese gets folded into there, it gets all melty and gooey. Some pepper. This is also where a few dollops of that pesto would be amazing. Now we just, patience, we wait. So now, the way I usually try to do an omelet, which is, I don't like doing it when people are watching because it's a little nerve-wracking. I'm just gonna try to tilt the pan and you go like that, okay? What I'm gonna do, my oven was warm, so I'm gonna just put it in for a couple of minutes. Okay, so I popped this in a warm oven for a few minutes, just to get the insides cooked. I'm a little impatient, it probably could have gone another minute, but that's okay. So a lot of times it's the underneath that's the prettier side, but what that entails is, okay, we did it, we made it. Here is our jumbo omelet with our goat cheese, zucchini, shallot, corn. This pesto, I'm telling you, I always use it on everything. And I think you could just do a little bit of pesto on top. Hit it with a little bit of parsley, lemon zest. I love the lemon zest on here. Yum. For all the recipes featured in today's show, you can follow us on Instagram. Well, that does it for us. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.